Guys, happy Sunday. I'm coming to you with the No Cap Sunday review. It comes from Luke, the 12th chapter, 13th verse through the 15th verse is where we started, but we actually worked our way through the entire parable. Go check it out. But the subject of today was don't be greedy. So, some very interesting things pop up when you hear don't be greedy. And the pastor did a really good job kind of describing what that means and some things that I took away from it is what I'm going to pinpoint today. Okay. So, one of the things that the pastor said that was very interesting is when we think about greed, we automatically think money. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Everybody seems to want money. And one of the first points that he made was if you are someone that makes $30,000 a year, then your goal probably is to make 40,000 a year, the next year. And if you're making 50 or 60,000 a year, the next year you might want to make 70,000. Even if you're at 100,000 a year, you're like, I need more. I need more money. He said it's very rare that people don't continue to want more. Okay. And that we live in a society where more is, we're always wanting more than what we have, not realizing how much we already have. And he made a point to pinpoint how so many of our grandparents and even our parents in some cases did not have near as much as we have, and we still think we should have more, and how greedy we can be as individuals. Okay. Something that was also an interesting point, he's like, you can be greedy in more ways than just monetary. So you could be greedy for food, or you could be greedy in the sense of you could have tons of things at your house and half of them you not use, but you're just keeping them, just in case one day you need them or someone else might need them. He pointed out if you have clothes in your closet that has dust on them, I was like, who has clothes in their closet with dust on them? Then chances are you're greedy. Okay, shoes, that or stuff that you have not worn in years, but you're just keeping it. Instead of blessing someone else with it. That's a sign of greedy. And it reminded me of, we are always in a constant state of more. What can I get? More of, these different things in life. Not saying that we should not want nice things. We all want things, right? It may be different types of things. Some people are more materialistic than others. Like, I could care less about a name brand. I really could. I don't keep up with the name brands or any of that. Okay, but but I can easily go and spend $100 or more just at a restaurant and not mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a foodie. That's the way I'm greedy. And of course, we all want to feel like we're excelling in some kind of way, but not necessarily just to benefit anyone else. Okay. So that was something that really stood out to me. It was something flying around me. That's why I was looking up like that. And I think that we are in a society where we're taught to be greedy. You know what I'm saying? And we don't realize that we're hoarding stuff just to have it. Not because we really need it or that we don't have enough. Most times we have too much. We have so much stuff we don't do anything with it. Okay, I would go to say that in our society we waste tons of food. You know what I'm saying? Where there are other countries where they're starving and they would love to have it, and we throw it away just because either we've kept it so long it's spoiled or we just didn't feel like eating it. Sometimes you get neglectful when you have too much. You know what I mean? You forget that sometimes we forget a time when we didn't have anything at all because we have so much. Okay. I thought that, this is a really good topic when you talk about greed, and something that he pointed out to me that I already think about, when I am among people, a lot of times I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to the type of inheritance that I leave behind. I don't make buying decisions based on I want to be able to leave this, to my kids. When I think about buying a home, it's not for me to say, oh, I want to be able to leave this house to my kids. Because if you know, like I know, and you've seen the things that I have seen in the time period that I have been grown, a child and growing up, you could work hard all your life to make sure that you have something to leave behind, and then you leave it to, as what our pastor says, some fool that doesn't even think about it, doesn't value it the way that you do, because they didn't have to work for it the way that you did. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that, I don't want to leave my kids an inheritance. I'm saying that I don't make decisions based on that. Okay. Because when you leave, you have no control. When you're gone on to glory, okay, you have no control over what people do with your things. Okay. Those things that you collect, those things that you want, your money that you save, that house that you buy, you may have one intent, okay, for them to do something, but they may not want to. You know what I'm saying? My kids may not like the house that I picked. They might have something bigger and better that they like. I don't want this house. You know what I'm saying? So I don't make decisions based on that, because it just is what it is. Okay, that's the real thing. And a lot of times people look at me crazy. I'm like, I'm not studying them kids. I love them. You know what I'm saying? They definitely would get some insurance money and stuff like that, but I don't make my buying decisions based on what I think they'll want when I'm gone. Okay? And you just don't have any control of those things. So when it comes to when he talked about being greedy, you can't take any of it with you. That's the point that I'm making. And you can't make anybody, after you're gone, do what you wanted them to do with it. Okay? That and it's not to say that God doesn't want us to be blessed. He does want us to be blessed, but he wants us to not be greedy, not covet what anyone else has, and that's something that I think about a lot. A lot of times people want what someone else has, but you have no idea what they had to do to get it or what they're going through to maintain it. And a lot of times I'm like, I'm not willing to do that. I have never been a person that is willing to work a bunch of jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to work day and night and miss out on my loved ones and just enjoying life and being able to relax. It's hard enough as it is. So, and to me, that feeds into greed as well. You want more, you want more, you want more. Instead, I prefer to work the job that the Lord blessed me with, and then be obedient to what he asked me to do, and let him blow on it and multiply it, but we all could work on not being greedy. Okay, not hoarding things, not overindulging, not wanting what someone else has. Remembering, and I think that part of that greed would be curved if we could remember when we didn't have and what that was like and what we thought would be great. Because there was a point in my life that I made, that $10 an hour was my goal. Okay. I was like, shoot, if I could make $10 an hour, I'd be balling. This is in my early 20s. Okay. And so if you can think back on where you came from versus where God has brought you to, then you tend to be a little bit more humbled by your wants and your desires. You get a little bit more simpler in your thinking when it comes to that. Okay? So I just thought this was a really good topic. Those are some things, that's not necessarily what he said, but that's what touched me. That's where my mind went when I thought about this, sermon and being greedy. So you guys, let's practice on not being greedy for anything but growing in the word and growing with God. All right, you guys. I'm out of here. No Cap Sunday. Have a great one.